On June 29, 2026, a government minister in one of the poorest countries on Earth signed a document that sent shockwaves through global commodity markets. The Democratic Republic of Congo banned the export of copper and cobalt concentrates, effective immediately. Copper hit near record highs within hours. Cobalt supply chains across Europe and Asia went into emergency planning mode. Why did one government order in Central Africa move global markets? Because Congo produces 73% of the world's cobalt and 14% of global copper. Without cobalt, no EV batteries, no smartphones, no laptops. Without copper, no electrical grid, no wind turbines, no AI data centers. And Congo just decided it is done shipping its wealth out of the ground and getting nothing back. Chapter 1. What Congo actually has. Most people know Congo for conflict, for poverty, for instability. What most people do not know is that beneath Congo's soil sits one of the most extraordinary concentrations of natural wealth on Earth. 70% of the world's cobalt reserves, the metal that makes lithium-ion batteries work. Inside every iPhone, every Tesla, every laptop ever sold. No commercially viable substitute exists at scale. You need cobalt. Congo has most of it. Congo is also the world's second largest copper producer. Copper is the metal of electrification. Every electrical wire, every EV charging station, every solar panel, every wind turbine requires copper. The energy transition requires roughly 3 times more copper than the global economy currently uses. Congo sits on a significant portion of what remains. It also has coltan, lithium, tin, gold, and diamonds. Congo is not a poor country. It is an extraordinarily wealthy country whose wealth has been extracted by others for 150 years. The export ban is the latest attempt to change that. Chapter 2. The history of extraction. To understand why Congo banned these exports, you need to understand what has been happening there for a century. Belgian colonial rule extracted Congo's rubber and mineral wealth through forced labor and mass murder. An estimated 10 million Congolese died. The country's infrastructure and institutions were destroyed to maximize short-term extraction. Independence brought political instability, engineered partly by foreign powers who wanted continued access to resources. The CIA facilitated the assassination of Congo's first democratically elected prime minister in 1961. Because he threatened to nationalize the mines, the pattern continued through civil wars, funded partly by mineral revenues, and fought partly over control of mines. The June 2026 ban is the 4th such restriction since 2013. Each one has been more comprehensive than the last. Each one carries the same message. The value is not in digging minerals out of the ground. The value is in processing them, in employing Congolese workers, in paying Congolese taxes on higher value products. It is resource nationalism. And after 150 years of extraction, it is rational. Chapter 3. The China problem. Here is where the story gets geopolitically explosive. Who has been processing most of Congo's cobalt and copper concentrates? China. Chinese companies, CMOC, Huayu Cobalt, Zijin Mining, are among the largest operators in Congo's mining sector. Chinese refineries process the majority of Congo's cobalt into battery-grade materials. Chinese companies control the processing infrastructure that sits between Congo's mines and the global battery supply chain. When Congo bans concentrate exports, it disrupts Chinese processing facilities. It creates leverage for Congo to demand that Chinese companies build processing capacity inside Congo, rather than shipping the value to China. This plays out against the broader US-China competition for critical mineral supply chains. America has spent 3 years trying to reduce dependence on Chinese processing. But the reality is stark. Building a refinery takes 5 to 10 years. The supply chain China built over 2 decades cannot be replaced in 18 months. Congo's ban forces the issue and gives Congo leverage over both China and the West simultaneously. Chapter 4. The investment case. For investors, Congo's ban creates opportunities and risks across the critical minerals supply chain. Copper rose 1.8% immediately after the announcement. The near-term price impact is limited because Congo mostly exports refined cathode rather than concentrate. But the strategic direction is clear. Greater Congolese control over mineral output reduces global supply flexibility and supports prices over time. The mining companies most exposed are Glencore, Ivanhoe Mines, and CMOC. Ivanhoe, which operates the Kamoa-Kakula copper complex, built a smelter inside Congo to process domestically. It is better positioned than competitors who did not make that investment. EV battery manufacturers, Tesla, CATL, LG Energy, all have Congo cobalt exposure. Tighter Congolese supply control means higher input costs and greater uncertainty. And every time Congo restricts exports, the value of cobalt and copper deposits outside Congo increases. Australian miners, Canadian miners, Chilean copper producers, the companies developing alternative sources of critical minerals become more strategically valuable every time a major producer asserts more control. On June 29, 2026, a minister in Kinshasa signed a document. Copper markets moved. Battery supply chains tensed. Boardrooms in Beijing, London, and New York started recalculating. From one of the poorest countries on Earth, that is leverage. The leverage that comes from sitting on 70% of the world's cobalt and deciding to use it. The energy transition needs cobalt. Smartphones need cobalt. AI data centers need copper. The modern economy runs on materials that disproportionately come from one country that has spent 150 years being exploited for them. Congo is not asking permission anymore. It is setting terms. If you want to understand how critical mineral supply chains affect your portfolio, check out my complete investing masterclass, link in the description.